Hello class, we're going to go ahead and continue with multiplying polynomials, and it's going to be a continuation of the previous lesson that we did by multiplying by a monomial. The only difference here is that now we're going to be using something called FOIL. FOIL is also known as double distribution. And the reason it's known as double distribution is because you're going to be distributing twice. So if you take a look at example 1, you do have two numbers instead of one like we did on the previous one. So you're going to distribute to everything on the other set of parentheses, and we'll go ahead and look at that in a little bit. So what does FOIL represent? So what FOIL represents, F is for first, O is for the outside numbers, I is for the inside numbers, and last is your last number on the outside. So we can go ahead and check number 1, just so you can see how FOIL is used, is we're going to go ahead and start by multiplying. Again, keep in mind that distributing means multiplying. Once we distribute, we multiply. So we're going to go ahead and do the first numbers on both sets of parentheses. That's what the F stands for, first. So x times x, it's x squared. The outside numbers, so this is the outside number here, and we'll go to the last number. So x times 5 gives us 5x. And then you're going to go with the inside numbers. So the inside are these two right here. So 2 times x, 2x. And then the last numbers of both sets of parentheses. So 2 times 5, which is 10. Now you're going to go ahead and check if you can combine any like terms. So we can see that we can go ahead and combine the middle terms. So you're going to go ahead and combine these two. And for the most part, once you do double distribution, you can always, for the most part, combine the middle terms. And because they're going to have the same variable. So here, same sign, you add and keep the sign. So those are the only two you're going to combine. Everything else stays the same. So x squared, 5 and 2 gives us 7. Don't forget your x. And then the 10 stays the same because we can combine it with anything else. So that will be your final answer. So that was using FOIL. Now if you want to go ahead and use double distribution, well, it's the same thing. Notice that this is the first thing we have on the first set of parentheses, and we're going to go ahead and distribute it to both things on the other set of parentheses. So p times p gives us the p squared. Why? Because we have that imaginary 1. And we're going to go ahead and we're multiplying. So when we're multiplying, we add the exponents. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. So the second distribution will be the p to the 2. And that will give us 2p. So we're done with that set distributing. Now we're going to go ahead and distribute the negative 4. So the negative 4 is going to go to the same numbers on the next set of parentheses. The only difference is that now we're doing the negative 4. So negative 4 times p gives us negative 4p. And then negative 4 times 2 gives us negative 8. So again, like I mentioned, you are going to go ahead and combine, for the most part, always the middle terms. And in this case, they're different signs. So we're going to go ahead and subtract. 4 minus 2 gives us 2. And keep the sign with a bigger number. In this case, it's the 4, which is negative. So we'll go ahead and put that there. Notice that the p squared and the minus 8 stayed the same. So that will be your final answer. On number 3, we have 3n minus 4 squared. The whole thing is squared. And when anything is always squared, that means you're going to have 2 of whatever's inside that set of parentheses. So you're going to go ahead and look to the right, and that's the exact same thing we have on the left side. So we're going to go ahead and apply the double distribution. So like we mentioned on the previous lesson, you're going to go ahead and multiply the big numbers. So 3 times 3 gives us 9. And then the n, keep in mind you have an invisible one there. You're going to go ahead and add the exponent. So you have n squared. And then don't forget to distribute it to that last one that we have on the second set of parentheses. So again, big numbers multiply. Negative 4 times 3 gives us negative 12. Don't forget your n. And we're done with that number. The first number distributing. Now we're going to go ahead and distribute the second number, which is negative 4. We're going to go ahead and distribute. So negative 4 times negative 3. Times positive 3 gives us negative 12n. And then negative 4 times negative 4, negative and negative gives you a positive. So let's go ahead and do that triangle. So positive 16. And again, like I mentioned, you can combine these two terms right there. Same sign, you add and keep the sign. So that'll be minus 24n plus 16. And that should be your final answer. So anytime you have that squared, go ahead and split it into two sets of whatever you have in that set of parentheses, so you can go ahead and distribute. Okay, so on number 4 and number 5, notice that now we have more numbers on the outside, on the second set of parentheses, but you're basically doing the exact same thing. The only thing is that now we have 3 different terms instead of the 2 we used to have. So we're going to go ahead and, again, double distribution, if you want to go ahead and call it that. So we're going to distribute this first. So that gives us, keep in mind you have a little invisible one here. So it'll be 2x to the third. And then here, it'll be negative 2x to the second power. Again, we have that invisible one there. And if you want to add that invisible one in front of the variable, and then distribute it to that last one. So 2 times 2 gives us 4. And then don't forget your x. So we're done with this set. Now we're going to go with that negative 1. So with this negative 1, we're going to go ahead and distribute. And I like to do my arrows just so I can see that I'm already using those numbers. You don't do the arrows before. Make sure you do them while you're doing the actual operations and distributing. So negative 1 times x squared gives us negative x squared. And you could put that one in front if you want to. Negative and a negative gives us a positive. And that would be x. And then negative 1 times 2 gives us negative 2. And now we're going to go ahead and combine like terms. In this case, it's not like the one we had before, but we're still going to combine some of the terms. So notice that 2x cubed is the only one. So that's by itself. The next one we have is this one right here with squared, negative 2x squared. And negative 1, keep in mind you have an invisible one there. X squared, same sign, add and keep the sign. So negative 3x squared. Then we have plus 4x. And the x, again, invisible one right there. Plus 5x. And last but not least, we have this minus 2. And that should be your final answer because we can no longer simplify. So again, if you want to go ahead and try the next one, go ahead and pause the video so like that you have enough chance to try it by yourself. And then go ahead and play the video or skip through it so like that you can get your final answer and see if you got it correct. So let's go ahead and try that last one. So here, we're going to go ahead and do the double distribution. So again, invisible one right here. So it's 2x to the fourth. We have plus x squared. We have that invisible one there. Negative 3x. And then the bottom ones, plus 6x cubed, 3 times x, 3x, negative and a positive make a negative, 9. And then we're going to go ahead and combine. This one stays the same. We can't combine it with anything else. Let's see if we have to the third power. Yes, we have one right here. So plus 6 cubed. And in IXL, it doesn't matter if you put them in order or not, as long as you have all the terms correct. But I'm putting them here in order just in case. Then we have plus x squared. And then notice here, we do have negative 3x and 3x, but those cancel out. So you don't have to write down the 0x because they actually canceled out, they zero out. And then the last thing we have remaining is the minus 9. And that should be your final answer. For this one, you have an IXL, which is Z8. So go ahead and head to IXL and do that one. If you have any questions, please let me know. Feel free to contact me on Google Classroom or Remind, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.